Well, again, Rodham, in that match he was facing a stacked deck. Here tonight at PPW's Fallout, he's facing one man, a man he has beat before and he'll beat again tonight.
Of course, Peter Avalon making his debut in PPW. Fans of the independent West Coast wrestling circuit know him. He's fought up and down California. He's from Southern California. He's a high flyer. He's a flamboyant showman. Peter Avalon now in the PPW, and you can tell this crowd is excited, JLH.
Well, I know why he showed up here tonight, and that was to challenge Brian Cage. You're right, Rodham. He has traveled all over. He has shown talent. He has shown victories. He has shown nothing but high-flying, intense action to himself. And Brian Cage has always been the one hurdle he can't surpass. And here's thinking tonight that he won't do it again. But here's the thing, Rodham. The thing about Peter Avalon is if he wasn't pandering to these Fresno fans so much, he might be okay in my book.
You see him floating like a butterfly and stinging like a bee. Peter Avalon now in the PPW, and even though he's new to Fresno area wrestling fans, he's no stranger to Brian Cage. These guys have had many wars.
Oh, yes, they have, Rodham. They have fought all over the state. And here's the thing. The continuation of this feud only means one really great thing, and that's great action right here in the PPW.
Brian Cage, the cocky, the arrogant former PPW champion, claims that he was screwed out of the title, claims it's rightfully his, and claiming that he's not getting enough attention, wondering, where's my PPW title shot? I wasn't even booked on the card.
Well, here's the thing. Talk about disrespect. And you know, I understand that he has a shoulder problem. Yes, people are concerned about that, and there's insurance issues. But he is here, he is ready, he's taped up, and he means business.
This might be a situation, folks, of careful what you wish for. Brian Cage calling out any wrestler in the back, and imagine his surprise when Peter Avalon makes his PPW debut. He might have bit off a little more than he could chew, JLH.
Just like a mysterious member of the family on a soap opera showing back up and saying, here I am, you're ready for me to screw with your life?
Look at that high-flying drop kick as Peter Avalon welcomes himself to the PPW and welcomes Brian Cage to the fans at ringside, says, get out of my ring.
Look at this now, he's firing up ahead of steam. Brian Cage, whoa! Great offensive maneuver on the part of Cage, showing him how a knee fits into your stomach just right.
Peter Avalon ready to jump outside to the apron and surprise Brian Cage, but Brian Cage is ready for him and hit him with that counter left foot kick.
Cage is a master of evolutionary moves. He does not waste a second in that ring, and he shows you how it's done properly.
Of course, Cage, one of the most versatile wrestlers in PPW history.
Look at him holding him up there,
Rob. He has a power game. He knows all the techniques, and what a textbook suplex that was right there.
That was done in a way that cannot be mastered, Rob.
Now you see Brian Cage demanding a little respect. You're talking about pandering to these Fresno fans. It sounds like Brian Cage needs some attention here, Jim.
Well, the attention he needs is called proper respect. It's about being recognized for the talent you have, and that's the problem with these Fresno fans. They don't know talent when they see it, Rodham.
I think, JLH, these fans respect Brian Cage. After all, he's a former PPW champion. The question is, do they like him? And the answer is no.
Well, with a chop like that, you got to respect a man who can deliver it in that authoritative fashion.
In short, Brian Cage deserves our respect, but his actions lately have not endeared himself to the PPW faithful.
Whoa! Beautiful sit-down powerbomb.
Huge powerbomb on Peter Avalon. Tough as nails, this small guy able to kick out at the count of 2, JLH.
He is tough as nails. Too bad his brain is soft as butter, Rodham.
Folks, these are two of the most exciting wrestlers in PPW, going toe-to-toe as Peter Avalon makes his debut here in Central California in front of this capacity crowd here in Fresno.
You know, I got to tell you something. Those boots, those do say a lot. I don't know what they say, but they say a lot, Rodham.
He's a high flyer. He's a fan favorite, Peter Avalon, but right now it looks like Brian Cage might be getting the best of him as he continues to wrestle with the chip on his shoulder, demanding the respect that he claims, and you claim, JLH, you rightfully deserve.
Is that a bone chip on his shoulder, Rodham, or was that surgically removed?
Now you start to see some of the talent of Brian Cage on display as Peter Avalon uses that quickness to get behind him, but before he can roll him up with a small package.
There we go, beautiful pin attempt right there. That is a textbook pin attempt by a textbook ring general, Rodham.
Brian Cage again wants to ground this high flyer, Peter Avalon. Brian Cage, the bigger, stronger man in the match, says, hey, listen, I'm going to take you to the ground and take your strength away from you.
You hear these people back here rooting for Peter Avalon like he's going to mean something in this company, Rodham. I don't know what they're thinking.
Well, there is no doubt. Peter Avalon, despite the fact he's making his PPW debut, has climbed near to the top. I mean, he's one of the most exciting wrestlers on the West Coast. His reputation precedes him, and these PPW fans are excited he's there as he tries to steal some momentum from Brian Cage.
Wow, wow, beautiful, beautiful series of moves right there, Rodham. That is a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful example of what Brian Cage can do in this ring.
You gotta give credit where credit's due. And I tell you what, Brian Cage, for as much of a great fundamental wrestler as he is, if he wouldn't be so flamboyant going for the 3 count, so lackadaisical, so arrogant, some would say, Jalen, he would have had Peter Avalon pinned there.
You have a pretty skewed view of what's arrogant or over the top. I gotta tell you that.
I'll tell you what's over the top when you almost have a man pinned, but instead of getting the 1, 2, 3, you stand there and gloat, and Peter Avalon kicks out at 2.
How do you know he just doesn't want to dish out a couple more bruising, beating, punishing blows to him, Rodham?
Speaking about dishing out some punishment, here comes Peter Avalon with a head of steam. And how about that flying forearm from off the ropes? And now here he comes. He's got Brian Cage. Brian Cage thought he reversed this move, but no, off the top rope. High cross body block. 1, 2, almost 3.
Oh boy, that was too close for comfort, Rodham. Cage is taking a beat, and let me tell you something. Referee Ron Bacardi showing a fast count, in my opinion.
No. Brian Cage in the counter, the high flying move, and hits him with an incredible
discus punch, Rodham.
Incredible clothesline. Now he covers the leg. 1, 2, and I tell you what, you can't count out this Peter Avalon. He takes a licking, but he keeps on ticking.
Yeah, and it helps when you have a referee who has trouble counting to 3.
There's no love lost between my broadcast colleague John Law Hastings and PPW referee Ron McCarty.
He used to be a drinking buddy of mine until he started drinking all the Bacardi.
And now Peter Avalon with another crafty move.
This guy puts together moves that I have yet to even see. Wow!
And look at that high flying kick. Brian Cage has dominated most of this match, but now Avalon going for the 3 count. And what do you think of that count by Ron McCarty?
That was close, Rodham, and I gotta tell you, this kid Avalon is impressing me, and I don't press easy.
What are we gonna see here? Peter Avalon going to the top rope. This is going to be something exciting here as the fans cheer him on. Oh, he jumps up. No one's home. Brian Cage counters. Goes for the
wow. The dipsy-do, Rodham, right there. It's over, brother.
It could be a Dunkaroo. 1, 2, but no 3.
Wow. Cage is...
Peter Avalon is able to kick out before Ron McCarty can count to 3.
You know, I'm going to tell you something right now. This referee needs to go back to referee school. Wherever they have those, he needs to attend.
It's been a back and forth slugfest. Most of the action controlled by Brian Cage. But just when you think Brian Cage has him where he wants him, the former PPW champion gets surprised by a high-flying move by Peter Avalon. And here it could be small package. 1, 2, not quite 3.
There have been so many pin attempts in this match, I can't even keep up anymore, Rodham.
Twists and turns, momentum changes, folks. This is the kind of high-flying action you'll only see here at PPW, Piledriver Pro Wrestling, as Brian Cage now says, uh-oh, could it be...
This is it right here, Rodham. This is it right here.
This is one of the most devastating maneuvers.
Oh!
Peter Avalon able to counter. Roll up, package 1, 2, 3.
What?
Peter Avalon.
What?
Peter Avalon
introduced
himself to the PPW and is able to beat the previously undefeated Brian Cage. I wonder how Brian Cage is going to spin this, JLH.
I cannot believe it. His Facebook status is going to say, I was screwed, Rodham. But you know what? Avalon's going to take the beating he deserves right here now in Fresno at PPW Fallout. Beautiful face plant, implant, suplex.
Talk about some sour grapes. Former PPW champion Brian Cage claims he's never been beaten, claims he was robbed for the PPW belt, demanding some attention, demanding some respect from these fans.
Total screw job, Rodham. Let me tell you something right now. Brian Cage's Facebook update is going to say, I was screwed at Fallout in Fresno.